Sure.
Oh, great. Thank you very much for coming, particularly during the middle of the summer. So what I'm going to do, because I was given the title, so I don't have much choice. But that's a good title. Help us to think one more time about our vision as a department. And also, I try to talk a little bit on my administrative philosophy. So the screen might be a bit small, but I will try to emphasize a few key points here. Actually, my presentation will cover two parts. One is my view, my perspective of the department. And the second part is something about myself. I try to be brief, so we're not going to talk a whole hour, so we'll leave some time for discussion. Our first part is my perspective of ESSM department. We have done quite a bit over the last 5 or 6 years. We went through different process. So I try to recap some of the discussion we had done over the last a few years. Basically, I will start with one of the questions. We talk about this many, many times as a group in the department. Actually, this question, I personally think we have three parts of it. First part, do we want to become a leader? I think we are pretty clear about that from our visions, mission statement. The second part is how can we become a leader? We have done something related to it, and we have achieved quite a bit of that too. And the last part of this big question is, have we done enough as a group? Have we acted quickly enough to position ourselves to become a leader? So that's the three part of the next question. So my discussion on the department side will basically follow this three part of it. First is our vision. Now, many of you have saw this many, many times, so I don't have to read the statement again, but I try to emphasize a few keywords. One is here is a premier program. All right, so we want to be a premier ecosystem science management program. And we try to emphasize on three parts of it: science, education, management that related to ecosystem. Now, again, those three emphases also related to our mission statement as the Land Grant University. So teaching, research, extension. All right? Again, we all know about this, so I try to skip those things. All right? We don't need to waste time on that. One of the things, when we think about our Land Grant missions, our three a part of the mission, we have some unique part of it. All right? But in the meantime, we think about a lot of other institutions doing the same thing. So how we set apart from them. All right? I think we also have very good idea on that. And this statement also I copied from our department website. Again, I don't want to read it, but I try to emphasize keywords here. One is science-based. Right? We want to follow science-based approach. We want to take a science-based path to become a unique program. Also, we want to use flash approach. I think that's also very important. Now, if we think about what we're doing every day, do we use a flash approach? I think that really will make a difference. So these are the two keywords I think we have sort of very well on that department missions. So why science-based? I don't need to tell you, all of you already know that. All right? So, but I try to, as the presentation, I try to cover some of these aspects. We know natural resource management is become much, much more complex now than 1 decade, 2 decades ago. Even when I was in graduate school, things are different now. All right? So because of the capacity, So we needed to look at science-based approach. On the other hand, the science also gives us a lot of promise, a lot of the possibility for us to make it possible to handle, to tackle some complex natural resource management issues. It's not only in principle, when you look at job market predictions for college graduates, that's a study sponsored by USDA. Also, you can find this information in USDA websites. Now, when you look at the future job opportunity, about 3/4 in science, engineering, and business management. All right? So the prediction also shows the shortage in business and science. All right? Business and science. As some of these stronger skills that will require for future job, again, it's a research development skill and business management skill. All right? I also pick a few related area, job professional area that related to our departments. So for example, from biometrician to water resource specialists, these will be in high demand. So again, the future growth in job area is science, engineering, and business. So how can we fit into a big picture here? And also, I want you guys to also think about, I know some of you have gone over this many, many times. Also to think about some number about our people. We have mission, and look at our people. So we are, again, that's not official, don't quote, okay? I got these numbers from websites. So again, just use some background information for discussion. So 47 faculty members, about 31 on campus, 16 off campus. We have located in 3 major buildings. Some of you already know. We have, harder to find a centralized location even for seminars sometimes. But on the other hand, when you look at the diversity of our faculty, diversity in the disciplines, also diversity in cultural background, particularly in the discipline. Now, we are a very unique department. When you look at other departments on campus, we are probably more diverse than anybody else. We have soil scientists, we have economists, we have ecologists, and we have biometricians, and we have people working on the genetic. So how we can take advantage of this diversity to create a union that will generate some synergies. That's some of the challenge and some opportunity we needed to deal with. Also, we have faculty off campus that are also very diverse in terms of their background, also they're strategically located across state of Texas. That's also very unique. So how we can take advantage of these different locations in terms of research, in terms of outreach, and maybe in terms of student teaching-related activities. The second number I want you to think about is our undergraduate enrollment. The number comes from official number, university statistics in spring 2012. So official number is 175 total enrollment in undergraduate. I also picked a number here in 5 different degree programs. Okay, I do not need to tell you which program, how many students in there, but some of the numbers look like a little bit concerning to us. Okay, particularly for those numbers smaller than 30. What do we need to do with those degree programs? All right. The next number is graduate student. The number has been steadily growth during the last a few years. So we actually, when you look at the trends, graduate student enrollment, that's a very encouraging number. Not only in the quantity, but also in terms of the quality, diversity of graduate students. It's a very impressive achievement there. Now, staff also, some of you probably a little bit surprised. We have so many stuff. I also want kind of the number. I never thought that we have so many stuff. So that's again, that's access to us, how we can incorporate or integrate a large scale SPLS into the entire department mission. Yes, including postal, other. All right, so what's our strengths? That's something I thought about it. First is the people. I think people is the most important. When you have a good people, when you have capable people willing to work together, you almost can do anything you want. So I think we have very good faculty staff, and also we have very strong student body. Our alumni are also very supportive, so that's very good to us. And our program, both degree program and research extension program, we have very strong and diverse program. Our strategic plan, okay, as you see that those mission statement, we have very well organized in terms what we're going to do. Our achievement, a lot of achievement. I try to pick up a few of these things. One is the merger of those two departments. Some of you are probably in the process, many of you in the process during the merger. So I think that's a big achievement. When you think about what's happening around the country, we probably one of the leader in terms of the organization of those two professions. Many have done the same thing, but they probably not as early as what we did. Also, a lot of work has been done, particularly all of us have worked very well, and Steve, as a department head, also have worked very hard on that. So we have accomplished a lot of that. And also, we are also grateful to the administration at the college, AgriLife research extension levels for their support, and they also help us during the process. And the second achievement I also think is very important. Mo has led the process. We have finally have the unified undergraduate curriculum. I think that's a big achievement. So that also will help us to better use our capacity in terms of the undergraduate education, and also will position ourselves to become a leader in the science-based natural resource management. Graduate students, as I mentioned earlier, quantity and quality have been increased. Also, we in the process apply for the ecosystem science management graduate degree. So I think that's the right direction we needed to go. In terms of the research grants, we have been very, very active in seeking research grants, particularly competitive research grants from all kinds of agencies. And some of you also know we have been very active also, both from forest and ranger side, seeking with some integrate multi-million-dollar project. So we have done pretty well in these areas. In extension, we also have done very well, particularly in terms of technology application in extension. Some of you are also involved in a webinar. When you get a chance to go to the department websites, pretty amazing what they did on the extension side. And we are very active also in international involvement from all over the place, from Afghanistan to African to South American. So we have done quite a bit in terms of different things. All right. What's our opportunity? I try to think a few things. Some of you probably think about something else, but I try to emphasize three things here. One is pressing issues in natural resource management at different levels. When you look at sustainability issues, okay, there's a huge related to the natural resource management. I will come back to some of these things later on. The other thing is ecosystem services. When you look at the market for ecosystem service and associated job opportunity, it's coming. Okay, it's not in mature format yet, but it's coming. All right, I will talk about more on that on that too. The last opportunity is our playing field. Okay, I will come back to each of these. Okay, we have very huge and rich playing field. So what's the opportunity? Okay, most of you already read the ecosystem, millennial ecosystem assessment. They list a lot of issues, all right, a lot of issues. Now, our business, when you think of what's our business, our core business is try to solve unsustainable issues. So unsustainable issues is huge, and will be there for a while. Will not go away anywhere. Will not go away any soon. So what's the implication for our business? Fortunately and unfortunately, our business is sustainable. All right? And also, when you look at the millennial ecosystem assessment report, I try to pick up some of the keywords, the heading they use. Some of these things in the blue we've already done. But I want you to think about those two items highlight in red. All right? One is business and industry. What's the implication for industry, for business? So ecosystem services is one of the things. But also look at other things. For example, what sustainability issues related to existing industry. Some of you probably already observed what's happening in business arena. For example, a lot of the Fortune 500 companies like GE, Chevron, they already take initiative to try to implement some sustainable development strategies. Right? So what's the implication for us? Now, we once in a while heard from, from different people, from students, from faculty, talking about some students probably very difficult to find a job. Now, can we educate our students not only take a job, but also to create a job, to become a leader of future industry, like green industry? All right, so think about it. The other thing is the health, human health. What I mean here is the human health. Now, we're probably not going to do it right now, okay? But think about how can we make our program more visible, more receptive by the general public? If we can link something to human health. Think, when we look at it, most of us apply for grants, all right, for grant monies. So when you look at the NIH grant monies and compare to USDA or some agencies, who get more money? All right, when you look at people talking about on the TV, what are they talking about? Human health. Anything related to human health get a lot of attention. What we're doing is related to human health? I think so. For example, even water related to human health, right? So we're probably not going to do this right now, but think about in the near future, in the long term, how can we work with other unions in health department? Just last night I saw the email say survey regarding merge with health center. So could be an opportunity. So again, ecosystem services, the market. Let's list some of the number I try to put together. A particular carbon market, okay, global-wise, $176 billion a year, pretty big. It's coming. All right, watershed services, about $9 billion a year, but that's more related to the some of the more limited to a few areas. For example, like western part of the U.S. All right, biodiversity. Numbers a little bit small. That doesn't mean that's not important. Okay, part of the reason is market development. Okay, biodiversity much difficult to measure. As the analogy associate, I try to use some economic terminology, but I don't want to use too many. So it's a little bit more complicated. So that's why the market development is a little bit slow. Right? So we do see a lot of potential in the carbon and the water areas. Our playing field. All right, that's the map. Rangeland on your left side, forestry on the other side. And we also, don't forget that we also have other part of it, our playing field. It's a wetlands. All right? Now, each time when I look at this map, I'm quite excited. All right? This is so big area and so rich, diverse area. There's a lot of things for us to do. What's our challenge? We get opportunity, we get a good vision, a mission statement. What's our challenge? Now, I don't have to say too much. We know budget, all right? We know budget. But anybody else has the same problem, all right? The other thing is the faculty replacement retention. We have not think too much about it. I think we have to pay attention to it. Otherwise, we may face more challenges later on. All right? The second challenge is expanding and changing demand in different aspects. One is expectation for what we're doing. It becomes higher. All right? When you talk to people, not from the funding agency, including government agency, from other stakeholders, even industry, the expectation for us become higher. All right? The other is changing in our profession, both in forest and rangeland. Some of you are already think about many of these aspects. But I try to talk a little bit on what I think on what's the change. One, the transition in our profession, big time. The other thing I think the change is boundary. Our profession become much more ambiguous, expanding. So they have two implications. One is our opportunity, if we become a leader, if we want to become a leader, we probably have better opportunity because our boundary extended. On the other hand, if we're sitting back, if we just try to be a passive defender, and then somebody else probably will take over. So that's one challenge we need to think about. Another in our profession, when you think about the other area in science, technology, they also change. Technology change very fast, and also a lot of implication for us too. Our stakeholder also change industry. So for example, forestry product industry have totally reorganized. Bioenergy is a potential. Some of you probably don't realize when you talk to some of the industry, it's not just like what we're thinking, they sitting there wait. For example, when we talk about ecosystem services, last time we invited the people from warehouse, they already implement some of these initiatives. For example, the water biodiversity and other things. So, and also when you look at the certified wood products, so something labeled, green labeled product, not only in forestry, in many other areas, it's become one of the trends. Now this change is not only related to the demand of the products, also related to job market, to our graduate placement. And last one, demographic. So I probably don't need to talk too much on that. So what's the implication? On one side, the resource somehow become stabilized, if not diminishing. On the other hand, demand for our product services expanded. So what's the implication for us? We have to become more efficient, have to become more effective. And also during the time of change, we have to become a leader. Otherwise, we will not be in good shape. At least we may not be maintain the leadership as we did in the last many decades. I also think about the other thing, but I put it in the small letters. That is not become a leader, but at least adapt it to change. But I hope you don't see it. So that's why I put it in a small letter. All right, so how are we going to do it? I think I put it simple. To become efficient, more effective, to become a leader, we need to do two things. To integrate. We have done that quite a lot, but we have to do better in terms of integrations. Same thing, the second one, we have been very innovative, but we have to do better. And we, as a group, we are very good at that. Okay, we are ecosystem science and management department. We're supposed to do integration. So we are very good at that. So again, I try to quickly go through that. One is why we need to do integration. To do integration innovation, I think we try to enhance synergies. Right? We try to improve efficiency. We try to solve complex natural resource management and science problems. And also, we try to better accommodate the change in funding resource and also change in demand for our product services. Go back to our mission statement. We want to become a premier department. If you want to be a premier department, you have to be innovative. Otherwise, it will not be a premier department. So how are we going to do it? What we need to do it? Again, I try to simplify here. As economists, we most of the time try to simplify it. So I use a plus side. So don't think of that's an addition, okay? Think about plus side integration. So again, we have done a lot on teaching, research, extension, integration, but we had to do more on that. The other integration is science management, policy integration. Off campus, on campus, research activity, extension activity, teaching activity, extension. Biophysical side and socioeconomic side integration. Integration within each subset. When I talk about each subset, let's mean, for example, within economic, within ecological part. Okay, can we work together in a better way? All right. The other thing is I thought about. I think there's a lot of opportunity associated with 3E. All right. When I look at something what I read, something what I understand, so I think there's a lot of potential for us if we pursue the 3E: ecology, economic. When I talk about economic, I also mean business, all right, and engineering. These three areas, within our department, we have some element of all these three areas, but we may need to look outside our department, for example, business school, for example, engineering college, in addition to econ, to engineering. So the reason I try to bring this up is when you look at these three areas, somehow if we work together, we really can benefit each other. Right? It's not only we will benefit from economic engineering areas, business area, but they also will benefit. For example, when we talk about in the business school, they talk about creating new company, entrepreneurship. Now, I think the green industry, the ecosystem services, is a very good area. Same thing for engineering. We have a lot to offer to them. When you think about the water resource management, purification, our ecological principle have a lot of implications for them. And even when we look at the energy side, for example, like solar energy. So ecological principle also have a lot of implication for develop engineering device or utilization of solar energy. So you probably can find a lot of other examples there. Teaching. See how much time I have. I don't want to talk too much. All right. One of the things here, so I mentioned earlier, is the curriculum, new curriculum. So we needed to somehow to make a few adjustments, teaching assignment, and move forward. A graduate student, ecosystem science and management, particularly new degree application. Student recruitment, advising, and career development. We probably needed to put more effort into that, particularly related to the recruitment, career development. We somehow needed to find a way to be more effective to do some of these things. Undergraduate research, internship, service learning, and study abroad. We have some of these programs, some of these activities, but we probably need to do a little bit more on that. One of the things is, I feel very strongly, our students somehow needed to better integrate. They needed to, because we are very diverse department, they needed to somehow to integrate among themselves. For example, for graduate students, most graduate students only working with limited group. All right? I think it's a bad idea to put a student in, one discipline, in one lab, in one office. I think somehow we need to create an environment for them to interact each other. I strongly feel particularly when I go through a different university, last year at Yale, they have done very well in terms of interaction among students in different groups. So they can become more creative and also reduce a lot of work for professors. You don't have to always keep an eye on them. And most of the time here, when students present a proposal, that's first time presentation. But over there, they're probably 7 or 8 time presentation. They've already done it under, they self-organized group. So that's something we probably needed to make a little bit change there. Research, again, we need to think about how we can better integrate. All right? A lot of things have been take place, and some things have moved in very good direction. But I think maybe some others we needed to facilitate. One is, I thought about maybe working group. Okay, we know centers sometimes take time to get approval. Working group, we can probably start immediately. I just give you some example. All right, you don't have to look too much into this name. One of the areas, for example, water, fire, climate change, these names can change. Okay, just give you some ideas. Some of these organized approach again, collaboration between off-campus, on-campus, and with other departments. And one last thing, I think we probably needed to put more attention to it. Department needed to provide more support for faculty to seeking for larger integrate project, all right? Because these projects really help us to integrate, also bring a lot of money. Right? Extension, I don't have to go through each of those. I think one of the things is how are we going to deal with new clients, particularly with urban rural interface areas. All right? The other thing is how are we going to work with teaching and research faculty together with extension faculty. Last part, particularly extension. Now, Texas Forest Service, some of you in the forestry side, they have very active in terms of extension, how we can work together with them. Development, again, I'll try to quickly go through some of those. One is how we're going to do it. I think communication is very important. We needed to better or more frequently communicate with our alumni, with our friends. Try to generate support from them. what's the priority? In my view, we needed to focus on two things. One is faculty endowed chair, and the other part is graduate, undergraduate scholarship. So that's related to our mission, related to faculty retention, improve the entire program. But again, the fundraising is not a one-person job. It will take time. Okay, it definitely require anybody to be part of it. And next part, I will try to very briefly talk about myself. Most of you know me very well, so I try to skip a lot of things. Why do I apply? I think at the beginning, some of you sent me an email. To be honest with you, I was a little bit hesitant. All right? I think about my research program. I think about my summertime. But some of the email were encouraging, so I had to turn it down. I do have compassion for this department, particularly for the people, all the program, all the people, including faculty, students, staff. And also, as I showed you earlier, I'm very excited about opportunity as well as the challenge. Now, in my view, challenge is the same thing as opportunity. So I want to try something new. Some of the experience, I don't need to say too much on that. I'm probably going to skip only some of you already know. So I be this department for 11 years. Started from faculty and then associate department head for both undergraduate, graduate students. Also some administrative, particularly at the division department levels, forestry program administration at other university in Tuskegee, Alabama. Teaching, so a lot of the activity in my previous experience related to curriculum development. For example, in Tuskegee, I coordinate 3+2, 2+2 program forestry. Now we work with 8 different universities in the US, including Duke, Oregon State, and many others. I teach a lot of different subjects from ag econ to forest, and also some quantitative methods. Also, I have graduate students in both forest and rangeland ecology and management. Graduate, undergraduate advising, also student club activity. Research, I'm probably not going to talk too much on that. One thing is, I do have several integrate projects during the last few years, including a USDA with Jason, Carl Sherman, Tom, others. The other one I just gathered a couple months ago with DOE, looking at the bioenergy. And some years ago, with the Biomass Research Development Initiative grant, DOE and USDA combined. So some of these experiences are very helpful in terms of the integration, in terms of the opportunity to development integrate proposal in the future. Also, review panel, both National Science Foundation, USDA, and also some of you probably do not know. Before I come here, I have traveled extensively, particularly in African, Asian. So I have quite a bit of international experience. One of the things is sometimes I still talking about when you travel internationally, you needed to take a vaccine. So in my body, I probably have more than 2 different vaccines. Some of the vaccine at that time, CDT did not have. I had to go to U.S. Air Force to get the vaccine. So. Extension experience, I have several projects related to extension, including Farm for Rural American, Farm Homes Administration, now they changed the name now, EPA, related to urban area education program in Mobile, Alabama, state agency like Alabama, Texas, and Southern Association of State Forest. So material development, the other thing I try to point out here is I also work with industry, forestry industry and some other related industry, including, for example, like redstone industry. For example, some of you know this, the Texas State House, right? So last year they want us to help them to identify the supply of wood fuel because they use wood fuel for cooking. So, all right, State Forest Planning Committee in Alabama. My administrative philosophy, okay, again, some of you are from my application cover letter. So these are some of the functions I think as a department should perform. One of these things is visionary. All right? You need to know what's going on out there. What would be the future direction for our department? And you have to be innovative. All right? You have to be innovative. And you also needed to be to facilitate faculty, staff, students to help them to achieve the higher potential. And you need to facilitate the resource management and other things. Advocator. You needed to somehow to be a cheerleader internally. Externally, you needed to communicate what we're doing and our missions to external stakeholders. Cooperator. As a department head, you needed to work with many people. Not that within the department, you need to work with others outside the department. So you need to collaborate with them. How I was going to do it? So again, I believe in a collective wisdom and strength. So I think I was going to use a shared governance. All right? Some of you probably think about this part of a approach to implement consensus, to build a consensus, implement some commonly development strategies. In order to be shared governance, you needed to have a transparency, to be transparent in terms of some of the information communications. Mission-oriented, I think that's also very important. We have limited resource, and not only financial resource, but time, other things. All right? So we have to be focused. And we have to be effective. I have to be effective. I have to be efficient. Again, I'm not going to call every month faculty meeting. All right? I think Steve has done very well. If I don't have to, I don't have to. All right? I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time either. So, all right? The other thing, I think adaptive management. Adaptive management is very important. That we talk about a lot in our profession, but I think it's also very important for the administration, because we are facing a lot of uncertainty, information, knowledge is very limited. And the last two things related is I'm not going to somehow to order you to do something, all right? So I will use faculty staff, use your initiative, use your creativity, all right? So, but somehow, as economists, okay, we always talking about the incentive reward systems, all right? Somehow, in my power, if I have resource, I will try to establish some incentive program. But again, before we develop those incentive program, I will use shared governance to develop criteria, other things. All right. My motto, three things, three words, okay? Heart, mind, and hands. I have used this in my profession, including teaching research, some other things, particularly during the last several years as an associate department head. Based on my experience, if I use those three things, usually I can get a pretty good result. Okay, so I will continue to use that. But again, as a department head, you probably don't have time to put your hand on every little things, all right? You need to delegate, but again, for something important, I have to do something. So I'm not going to ask you to do it if I don't want to do it. Final words. We know department head, no matter who becomes department head, what one person can do is still limited. All right? We have to work together to become a leader, to be successful. That's it. Thank you.